Every second, somewhere on this planet, 4 iPhones are activated for the very first time. Not bought, not unboxed, activated, powered on by a human being who has never used that specific device before. That means by the time you finish watching this video, more than 2,400 brand new iPhones will have come to life. And the most extraordinary part? Each one of them began as sand, aluminum ore, and rare minerals buried in the ground thousands of miles from the nearest Apple store. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how it's made. The iPhone is arguably the most sophisticated, mass-produced consumer object in human history. More than 2.2 billion iPhones have been sold since 2007. Today, the iPhone alone generates more annual revenue than all of McDonald's, Nike, and Netflix combined. The Pro Max sits at the very top of that empire, the most technically complex version of a product that has already pushed the limits of what's physically possible to manufacture at scale. Most people think making an iPhone is simply a matter of assembling some parts in a factory. But the truth is almost incomprehensible. The iPhone 17 Pro Max contains more than 1,800 individual components. It is built to tolerances tighter than a human hair, and before a single unit reaches a store shelf, it is passed through the hands, or robotic arms, of thousands of workers and machines spread across at least 43 countries. The global supply chain behind one iPhone is so vast and so precisely choreographed that even a single missing component, sourced from a single obscure supplier, can halt production lines serving hundreds of millions of customers. This is not just manufacturing. This is the most complex logistical and engineering feat in consumer electronics history. The story of every iPhone 17 Pro Max begins not in a factory in China, but in the Earth itself. The device's signature titanium frame starts its journey in mines scattered across Kazakhstan, Russia, and Australia, nations sitting atop the world's largest deposits of ilmenite and rutile, the raw ores from which titanium is refined. Extracting usable titanium is brutally difficult. The ore must be processed through the Kroll process, a multi-stage smelting procedure that takes weeks and reaches temperatures above 800 degrees Celsius just to produce titanium sponge, the crude, porous form of the metal that will eventually become a structural component of one of the world's most precisely engineered devices. Meanwhile, in the Atacama Desert of Chile, the driest non-polar desert on Earth, lithium is being pumped from ancient underground brine pools. This lithium will find its way into the battery that powers the iPhone 17 Pro Max. The Atacama holds nearly a third of the world's known lithium reserves, and harvesting it involves pumping saltwater brine to the surface and leaving it to evaporate in the relentless sun for months at a time, until concentrated lithium compounds can be extracted. Cobalt, another essential battery material, comes primarily from the Democratic Republic of Congo, which holds more than 70% of global reserves. It travels thousands of miles to refineries in China before it ever gets anywhere near a production line. The aluminum for the device's internal structural components is smelted largely in China and Canada, requiring enormous quantities of electrical energy. The smelting of a single metric ton of aluminum consumes roughly 14,000 kilowatt-hours of electricity, about as much as the average American home uses in a year and a half. And then there is the glass. The ceramic shield glass used on the iPhone 17 Pro Max is not ordinary glass. It is a specially engineered aluminosilicate, a ceramic glass hybrid material developed through a partnership between Apple and Corning that involves nano-ceramic crystals grown directly inside the glass matrix during a carefully controlled cooling process. This is the same fundamental science used to make telescopic mirror glass for space observatories, applied here to protect a screen you use to scroll through social media. Once the raw materials have been extracted, refined, and transported to the right facilities, the manufacturing process can begin. And this is where things get genuinely astonishing. The titanium frame, the structural backbone of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, is machined using a process called CNC milling. Computer numerical control machines carve the frame from solid blocks of aerospace-grade titanium with a precision measured in micrometers. 1 micrometer is 1/1,000,000th of a meter. The tolerances Apple demands are so tight that the cutting tools used in this process must be replaced after machining only a handful of frames. The milling generates enormous heat, and the titanium itself is notoriously difficult to cut cleanly. It work hardens as it's machined, meaning the metal actually becomes harder and more resistant the more you try to shape it. Managing this requires constant coolant flooding, precisely calibrated tool speeds, and machines that cost more than most houses. After milling, the titanium frames undergo a chemical brushing and polishing process to achieve the matte finish that Apple is known for. But before that, each frame is laser etched with invisible alignment markers, registration points that allow robotic assembly systems later in the process to know to within fractions of a millimeter exactly where each component needs to be placed. At the same time, on a completely different continent, the A19 Pro chip is being manufactured. This chip is produced by TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, in a facility in Hsinchu, Taiwan that is among the most technologically advanced buildings ever constructed by human beings. The A19 Pro is built on a 2-nanometer process node. To put that in perspective, 2 nanometers is approximately the diameter of 10 hydrogen atoms lined up side by side. The transistors on this chip are so small that quantum mechanical effects, the strange probabilistic behavior of particles at subatomic scales, must be actively managed during the design and fabrication process. The chip fabrication process begins with a silicon wafer, a perfectly circular disk of ultra-pure silicon grown as a single crystal from a seed no larger than a pencil eraser. The wafer is then coated with a light-sensitive chemical called a photoresist, and patterns are projected onto it using extreme ultraviolet lithography, EUV lithography, a technology so complex that only one company in the world can build the machines required to do it. That company is ASML, based in the Netherlands, and each of their EUV machines costs more than $150 million, weighs 180 metric tons, and requires a dedicated Boeing 747 freighter to transport. The EUV machine generates light with a wavelength of just 13.5 nanometers by firing a high-powered laser at a stream of tiny tin droplets 50,000 times per second, vaporizing each droplet into a plasma that briefly becomes one of the hottest things in the observable universe. This extreme ultraviolet light is then directed through a series of precision mirrors, each polished to atomic-level smoothness, to project circuit patterns onto the silicon wafer. A single wafer goes through this process dozens of times, layer by layer, building up the 3-dimensional transistor architecture of the finished chip. Now, the components begin to converge at the final assembly facilities, primarily operated by Foxconn and Pegatron in Zhengzhou and Shenzhen, China. The main Foxconn facility in Zhengzhou is known internally and in the press as iPhone City. It covers nearly 3 square kilometers. At peak production, it employs more than 200,000 workers on site and produces up to 500,000 iPhones per day. Employees in some departments use electric bicycles to travel between buildings. The facility has its own dormitories, restaurants, banks, and medical clinics. It is, by almost any reasonable definition, a city that exists solely to build iPhones. Inside the assembly halls, the air is filtered to clean room standards in critical areas. Static electricity, the kind generated simply by walking across a carpet, can destroy components worth hundreds of dollars in milliseconds, so floors are grounded and workers wear anti-static equipment. The chip itself arrives at the facility sealed in nitrogen-purged packaging because the bonding pads on the chip's surface will oxidize and become unable to form reliable electrical connections if exposed to normal air for too long. Placing the A19 Pro chip onto the logic board is performed by a surface mount technology line, a series of robotic machines that can place components at speeds exceeding 100,000 individual parts per hour. The chip is bonded to the board using a grid of microscopic solder balls in a process called flip chip mounting. The logic board then travels through a reflow oven, a long, precisely controlled tunnel of heat that melts and then re-solidifies the solder, forming permanent electrical connections. The temperature profile inside this oven is engineered to within 1 degree Celsius because going even slightly too hot would damage the chip, and going too cold would produce weak, unreliable solder joints. However, the next step changes everything. The logic board is then X-rayed. Automated optical inspection machines examine every solder joint using X-ray imaging because the connections beneath the chip are completely invisible to normal light. The system is looking for cold solder joints, bridging between adjacent pads, or voids in the solder that would cause failure in the field. This is not a sampling process. Every single board is inspected. Every single joint on every single board is checked. The inspection machine makes this evaluation in seconds and flags any anomaly with sub-millimeter precision for human review. The display of the iPhone 17 Pro Max represents its own manufacturing marvel. The ProMotion OLED panel, capable of refreshing at up to 120 times per second and dimming to just 1 nit of brightness, is manufactured by Samsung Display and LG Display in South Korea. OLED panels are made by depositing organic light-emitting compounds onto glass substrates through a process called vapor deposition, inside chambers that maintain a vacuum more complete than the surface of Mars. Even a single molecule of water vapor contaminating the organic layers would cause the display to degrade catastrophically within days of use. Once the display is produced, it ships to the assembly facility, where it is bonded to the titanium frame using a lamination process that applies pressure uniformly across the entire surface to within a few grams per square centimeter. Any variation in pressure, any trapped air bubble, any microscopic particle of dust, and the display must be scrapped entirely. Apple runs this lamination process in clean booths, where the air is filtered more aggressively than in hospital operating rooms. The camera system, arguably the feature most scrutinized by iPhone buyers, involves its own extraordinary supply chain. The periscope telephoto lens in the Pro Max, which enables up to 5x optical zoom without making the phone any thicker, is assembled from multiple precision-ground glass elements aligned to tolerances measured in arcseconds. 1 arcsecond is 1/3600th of a degree. The optical image stabilization system uses a tiny electromagnetic actuator that can shift the lens assembly by microscopic amounts, thousands of times per second, to counteract hand tremor during photography and video recording. Quality control at Apple's scale is its own breathtaking discipline. Every iPhone 17 Pro Max goes through a battery of automated and semi-automated tests before it leaves the assembly facility. The device is powered on for the first time, an event Apple internally calls First Boot, and immediately begins a scripted diagnostic sequence that tests every sensor, every circuit, every antenna, and every pixel on the display. The touch response of the screen is validated by a robotic arm that taps each zone of the glass surface and measures response time. The cameras are pointed at calibrated test charts under controlled lighting. The speakers play tones. The microphones listen for their own output. The Face ID system, built around a dot projector, infrared camera, and flood illuminator, is calibrated individually for each unit. The dot projector casts an array of 30,000 infrared dots onto a test target, and the geometry of that pattern is recorded as the calibration baseline for that specific device. This data is cryptographically linked to the secure enclave chip on the logic board and cannot be transferred to another unit. If the Face ID hardware is replaced after manufacture, the system stops working entirely, a security feature that also means the calibration process cannot be shortcutted or faked. The failure rate Apple targets at final inspection is measured in parts per million. For a product shipped in quantities of tens of millions per quarter, even a 99.9% pass rate would mean hundreds of thousands of defective units reaching customers. Apple's actual defect targets are far more aggressive than that, and the engineering infrastructure required to achieve them is, by any measure, one of the most impressive quality systems ever built in consumer manufacturing. Here are some facts about the iPhone 17 Pro Max that are difficult to fully absorb even when you know they are true. The A19 Pro chip contains approximately 20 billion transistors. 20 billion! In a piece of silicon roughly the size of your thumbnail. The entire transistor count of the most powerful computer on Earth in 1990 was around 1 million.
A single iPhone today contains 20,000 times more transistors than that. The supply chain for a single iPhone involves suppliers in at least 43 countries on 6 continents. Some of those suppliers themselves rely on sub-suppliers, and those sub-suppliers rely on others still. If you mapped the complete upstream supply chain of one iPhone to its raw material origins, the resulting diagram would be almost too complex to comprehend. The EUV lithography machines used to manufacture the A-series chips are so complex that each one contains more than 100,000 individual parts. The optical mirrors inside them are polished to a surface roughness of 0.1 nanometers. If those mirrors were scaled up to the size of Germany, the tallest bump on their surface would be less than 1 millimeter high. The Zhengzhou facility uses more electricity than some small countries. During peak production ramp ahead of a new iPhone launch, it operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, across 3 shifts. The logistics operation surrounding it moves more air freight than many national airlines.
The titanium used in the Pro Max frame is the same grade, grade 5, also known as Ti6Al4V, used in aircraft engine components, medical implants, and spacecraft hardware. Apple is now one of the largest consumers of aerospace-grade titanium in the world for consumer applications. When a finished iPhone 17 Pro Max rolls off the final inspection line, it is placed into its box, assembled by a separate, equally complex packaging operation, and immediately enters one of the most sophisticated logistics networks on the planet. Most iPhones sold in the United States, Europe, and Asia travel from Chinese assembly facilities by air freight, not sea. Apple chooses to pay the dramatically higher cost of air freight, sometimes chartering entire 747 freighters, because the value density of iPhones is extraordinary, and because getting inventory to market quickly in the weeks after launch is worth far more to Apple than saving on shipping costs. In a single year, Apple ships in the region of 220 to 240 million iPhones globally. More than 50 million of those are Pro Max models. The global retail and distribution operation that takes a device from a factory dock in Zhengzhou to a customer's hands in Sao Paulo, Stockholm, or Seoul, in some cases within 24 hours of ordering, is itself a masterpiece of systems engineering that most people never think about. And it is worth thinking about, just for a moment. The object sitting in your pocket or on your desk right now contains materials from dozens of countries. It was shaped by machines pushing the boundaries of what physics says is possible.
It passed through thousands of pairs of hands and millions of lines of process control code. It was tested, inspected, calibrated, packaged, freighted across oceans, and placed on a shelf. All so that when you reach for it, it just works. Instantly, reliably, beautifully. From sand and ore and rare minerals buried in the ground, to a glowing slab of glass and titanium in your hand. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is not just a phone.
It is the most complex object that ordinary people own. And the fact that it is ordinary, that billions of people carry one, is perhaps the most astonishing fact of all. Now that you've seen what goes into making one of these, here is the question I want to leave you with. Which part of this process surprised you the most? Was it the 20 billion transistors? The EUV machines that generate plasma hotter than a star? The city-sized factory that exists for no other purpose? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. If this video gave you a new perspective on the object in your pocket, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who'd want to see it. And if you want to go deeper into how the world's most fascinating things are actually made, subscribe. There is a lot more coming.